What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Wager Alarm live stream. I'm Howard Bender. With me, as always, Craig Mish by my side. It is time to start taking a look at the lines in NFL Week 3. We got the Westgate Super Contest picks to make. We went 2-3 this past week. Yeah, not good, not good. We hit it with two of our dogs, obviously the Jaguars and the Giants.
Right.
Both covered. We got screwed out of some lousy play by Pittsburgh. They did not look good offensively. They held on for the win, but they did not cover the spread. Who else did we lose off of? It was
Washington.
Washington, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it was. I don't think that we felt great about going into the week, regardless. So, shouldn't really be a huge surprise. Philadelphia was a big surprise, though, Howard. That was.
Oh, that was the other one we lost. Yeah, we had them minus 1 point, and they got destroyed.
Yeah, no, that was a really big surprise, and that was the one that I felt the best about, but also was the most scared because it looked too good to be true, and every time it looks too good to be true, it is.
You said it. You said it last week, and I was like, "Oh, but Craig, it was the first game you mentioned to me, and you always hit that."
I know
game.
It's early in the season. I'm getting my footing under me. When the games look too good, I shouldn't be taking them, and that's sort of what happened there. I mean, Philly should have been a favorite in that game, and that it should have been an indication of not to take them. But regardless, this week we certainly have a lot of issues with injuries around the NFL, and I think for the most part we got them out of the way today. So when the Super Contest lines came out, they were reflective of those, and so we'll just have to wait and see what happens on Saturday and see if anything changes. But look, simply put, we're at a stage very early on in the season where unlike years past, you have dogs of 6.5, 7, 5, 11, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 5. And so it tells you that, essentially at this point that there is the belief that just some teams are a lot better than other teams in the NFL. And the other thing that's happening is that scoring has just been relentless. I think that when we last talked on Saturday night, I asked you to give me the good defenses in the NFL, and you were like, oh, there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you still feel that way. I don't see any.
Well, the ones that I mentioned actually were perfectly fine. The Chargers defense was rock solid against the Chiefs.
Chargers were good. That's true.
Baltimore, solid defense. Obviously, the Colts, they came out on top also. They did a good job.
Yeah, I think but there's 30 teams. There should be more than 3, no?
No, the defense, I mean, it fluctuates. It's up, it's down.
Okay.
I mean, it's so dependent on the matchups at times. It's one of the things that I've learned, over years in doing fantasy football is that you look at, when you watch defenses, you really have to look and see things like, how does this quarterback stack up against this particular kind of zone coverage?
Mm-hmm.
Because, listen, people thought Seattle coming in this year was going to be a rock solid defense, and their secondary is absolute trash. And you just look at the particular quarterbacks who have just carved them up, even in that great scheme that they usually run. So I think there's a lot of fluctuation with defenses. Obviously you look at New Orleans on Monday night, they shot themselves in the foot. That's over true. And over again. Well, they took, it was like 12 penalties for 129 yards in total. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of defenses though that are really, really bad, and those are the ones you like to try and target against.
Yeah, almost all the games went over last week, and so it's sort of scary going into this week, thinking that could potentially happen again. You like to identify a couple teams that can go under for you, and especially with those big spreads, you could take a team plus 7 if you think it's going to be a close game, but you look at some of these totals in the NFL, and they're 48, 49, 50. It's just maybe
four
it's
games over 51, right? 4 games over 51.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. You don't normally see that many totals at 50, but they're not calling as many penalties, and there is no home crowd to get behind the defense at home. I guess that's part of it. The signal calling is very easy, and teams are just having an easy time scoring. And even for all the Saints warts in Las Vegas, they ended up putting up 3 touchdowns. So. It's just interesting to see, and I think that the time to adjust is probably now. I don't think you're going to have much more time. Maybe even it's gone. I think the lines have been adjusted somewhat. But Looking at it this week, we have Thursday night. The Jaguars will play at home against the Dolphins. If 3 weeks ago I would have told you the Jaguars are favored in any game this year, you would have said, "Get out of here! You're crazy." Here they are. They're a 3-point favorite over Miami. It seems like the consensus play for just about everybody is Miami in this one. So I'm not really interested in this game in particular because when that happens, it tells me, stay away. It seems too easy that the Jaguars aren't that good. They'll fall back to earth. Miami's not playing as well as they should. And I think that most money will be on Miami in this one and the points. But again, Jacksonville's played well enough, I think, the last 2 games to win this by 3-2. So it's not a game I'm particularly interested in.
Yeah, I'm not looking at that either. I mean, because they're playing tight games too, Jacksonville. So obviously they played Tennessee pretty tough, and they could have ended up with the win on that one. But
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely. I agree with you staying away. If I'm gonna lean, I'm gonna actually lean Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I just can't buy into Miami. You want to talk about bad defenses? I just think Miami's coverage. Jacksonville might not have the greatest of weapons, but they've got stability with James Robinson in the backfield, and that allows Minshew to kind of, set things up for himself where he knows if he wants to take off or he's got the running back support. So I think it changes a few things. But then, of course, this one's being fought in the media, on social media to be precise, where Ryan Fitzpatrick turned around and declared beards better than mustaches.
I saw that.
Right. And then Minshew bit back and said that, it's clearly his mustache that wins out, but he didn't want to say anything because he was always told to respect his elders, especially when they're much, much elder.
Thank you for all of that great information, Howard. How does that affect the spread? I don't know. All right, let's move on, please.
Oh, have a little fun. It's Wednesday.
Patriots and Raiders. Patriots are 6.5-point favorites at the Super Contest. My guess is this will go down a little, probably be 6, would be a guess for me by the time Sunday comes. Interesting line, Howard, because it simply tells you that there isn't a lot of belief that the Raiders are 2-0 and are a good team. It's kind of the situation where it says maybe this is the game where they come back to earth a little bit. And certainly, let's not take New England and what they did on Sunday night lightly. They were 1 yard away from winning that game. I watched that, and the Patriots could end up being better than people think, but not a game that I have really a lot of interest in at this point. I looked at the line and kind of felt like it was about right, and it tells me that the Raiders are going to have a little bit of a fallback and regression potentially. So that's the way that I saw that.
Yeah, I look at I lean the Patriots on this one here. You just basically you take away the weapons. That's what Belichick does. He went raving about Darren Waller in public, and we know that that's what Belichick does. He takes away your 2 biggest weapons. That's Darren Waller. That's Josh Jacobs. If he focuses on that, it's up to the Raiders to rely on those young wide receivers, Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards. And do you really want to put all the eggs into that basket? I know that they surprised everybody on Monday Night Football with that win. But again, I mean, are you going to pick against Belichick here at less than a touchdown given? So
I don't love it either way. In fact, even the next one I really don't have a strong opinion on, again, because of the line. Like, you would have expected Buffalo to open up as a pretty significant favorite against the Rams, but here the Rams are again only getting 2.5 points, and it's like, looks so easy. Take Buffalo. They're playing great, But the Rams are playing very well, better than a lot of people think. They have that play action going. And Josh Allen, has he really been tested yet? I'm not sure that he has. So this will be a test for this week. I'm not sure on this one. Pittsburgh, interesting line too. For them to only be 4-point favorites, I think tells you something here a little bit. Maybe the Texans are due. They're getting 4 points. And Howard, through 2 weeks, you could probably say that Houston's playing like a bottom 5 team in the NFL. And then you look at who they played against, and then it makes you wonder. Maybe we should take Houston in this game because they've played against the best 2 teams in the NFL. And if they're ever going to play in a close game, you would think that this would be the week. So I have some potential interest in Houston this week.
Yeah, I do as well. I really do. Big Ben did not look good.
He did not.
And it wasn't, there was no zip on the ball. Now I get it. He's working his way back still from the elbow. But when you look at some of the passes that he threw, And and I watched video of every single one of his completions. There was no zip on the ball
Right.
at all. And I think that, granted, Houston's secondary really not strong. They do have an effective pass rush. If they can win that battle in the offensive line, I think they can, at least keep it
Yeah.
super close to within to, covering that spread.
I think that's a pick that we'll probably look at. Look, San Francisco's got a ton of injuries. They're on the road again, but really they didn't have to travel, so we can't use that because they stayed in New York, and they'll take on the Giants. Giants are getting 4. They lost Barkley, but they haven't had him really a lot in the last year, so I'm not sure that makes a huge difference. Giants, who we had in the Super Contest last week, were very fortunate to get that cover because the Bears missed a 40-yard field goal at the end of the game. But the Bears never really put the Giants away, and it kind of felt like the more Daniel Jones was throwing, the better he started to look. But then again, they're missing Shepard now. That's another weapon that'll be out. San Francisco is a mess. If you told me that Mullins was starting and Mostert and Kittle were both out, I think I would have to take the Giants. I think I would I like Mullins, but I think that's just too many guys being out. And I probably would take the Giants, but we don't have to make the decision now. So maybe we should just wait and see what happens.
No, I'm fine with waiting on that. I heard that Kittle might not play. One of the big complaints that Kyle Shanahan had was the turf, and that was what ended up leading to it. And you look at what happened. First, week 1, offensive tackle for Pittsburgh tears his ACL. James Conner hurts his ankle. Now you go to week 2, and I mean Nick Bosa goes down, Mostert goes down. Garoppolo went down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I definitely listen. I think that their defense is definitely lagging from what it was coming into the season, and not having Bosa is a big deal. Not having Richard Sherman there is a big deal as well. So we could get a little late cover there from the Giants with like a touchdown bomb. Home dog. Like, that's the funny thing. Like I said to you before we even started here, 3 home dogs this week. And they all made me a little nervous. The Giants were the one that you said kind of intrigued you the most.
Yeah, and look, with the Giants too, Daniel Jones fumbled at the very beginning of the game and turned it over. He's got to stop that. Like, I don't know why this keeps happening with him, but if he can hold on to the ball, at least they can play close games. Titans and Vikings, again, another game where you never would have expected at this stage the Vikings to be home underdogs to anybody. And they just looked awful through 2 games, but Cousins is a lot better at home. This is one of those, yuck, let me just pass and move on, because I think Minnesota's going to be more motivated, but Tennessee's probably the better team. This is coming down to the 4th, right? Like, that this game is coming right down to the end.
Minnesota's defense is so bad, and they're dealing with injuries in the secondary even more.
They're at home. I mean, I hate going against winless teams that are like halfway decent. Their back is against the wall. It just doesn't make sense. But again, Saturday we'll take a deeper look. Maybe that'll be a pick that we'll go with Tennessee. I do like Cleveland this week. I do like Cleveland. Washington, I think, was a fraud in week 1, and the Browns, to me. And I know it was the Bengals. I think they found something on last Thursday night. I really do. And those 2 guys run the bleep out of the ball, and they wear you out. And I think the line is fair, but I think the Browns may end up winning, and winning by a lot. I think they're going to go on a run here. I liked what I saw from Cleveland. I don't know. It's just they ran into a buzzsaw in Baltimore. Look what Baltimore did again last week, right? They look good again. And I don't know. It's one of the games that I'm looking at for this week. I kind of like Cleveland.
If they really pushed the run, I mean, that was the thing. That was what we saw. That was what we expected to see in week 1, and we didn't see it from them. It looked like, Stefanski got the opening week jitters and just, turned to the pass way too much. And that was just a big mistake for him. So, yeah, I think they really went back to it and pounded it with Chubb and Hunt. And I think I love it. I really do. It opens up the passing game, which is the kind of offense that Stefanski wants to run.
And there's a false narrative that like a team has to be a very high scoring team in order to cover big spreads like this. It's actually not the case. When you're laying 7, 8, 9, 10, you want teams that can run the clock out when they're up big. What you don't want is a team that's up 31-16 and they can't run and they have to just keep giving the ball back. You want that clock to just end and Chubb and Hunt just to keep running and grinding and running and grinding, and then the game ends and you look up and you're like, wow, this game ended super fast. That's what you want. You don't want those gunslinging teams like that. It doesn't always work that way. They leave the back door open and you miss the cover. Eagles, Bengals. Can we just move on? I don't know. I don't have a good feel for Philadelphia at all, obviously, and Cincinnati. I mean, I guess maybe I'd lean towards Cincinnati if anything. I couldn't take the Eagles again.
Yeah, I guess I'm the same way. I look to the Bengals there as the lean.
Yeah. We got the Colts. I'm sorry, Falcons and Bears.
Talk about a team that can't hold a lead and can't run out the clock. Hello, Atlanta.
I mean, I feel like this is the week we take Atlanta and we lose. That's the way I feel. Right? We have to lose with Atlanta at some point, right?
No, we don't. We can avoid it.
It does feel like a lot of people will be on Atlanta, though, right? Only laying 3, desperate team. Bears haven't looked good. It's the easy way to go. It's like the very square take on that. Colts and Jets. Colts are laying 11. Jets, I mean, I guess they're just so adamant about running the ball that you could see this being sort of close in the end because, Gase is giving Gore 20 carries, so you know that they're going to just keep trying that. But I don't have a strong feeling on this one.
I hate the Jets. I really do. But
it's
11
Rivers,
points,
though, he didn't look good again.
I know.
The Colts are going to have to win 21-3 to cover this.
11 is too much. Like I would lean the Jets. I'll take the Colts in survivor pools all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'll take the Jets with the points.
Yeah. Okay, we got Chargers and Panthers. This is another interesting one for me because I like the way the Panthers are playing. I am very surprised the Chargers are this big a favorite over anyone with a rookie quarterback starting. And I know Herbert looked good 1 week. It was 1 week. I know the Panthers can't play defense either. This is the game on the board again, in the second quarter if you win or lose because the Chargers go up big and that's probably going to be it. I understand McCaffrey's not in the game, but it is shocking to me to see that the Chargers are horrible as a favorite through the years, and this is a very big favorite too. I don't know yet. My lean definitely would be taking points in this game, and again, maybe the Chargers are up 28-10, and Carolina scores a couple times just to backdoor your way in, but
it could be. It's just it could be just an overreaction to the fact that they played the Chiefs so tightly.
I think that's exactly what
throughout
it is.
The game.
Yeah, I have this line at 4. It's 6.5. It's like almost a touchdown, and I think it may go up. I think it may be able to get 7 on Sunday. So, look, Cardinals Lions. It looks like I'm going to be completely wrong on the Lions. That was one of my biggest oversights, at least at the start of the season. Just a horrible pick by me, thinking that they would be good. Maybe they'll turn it around and it'll make me look good in the end, but it certainly doesn't look that way. It would only be Arizona or nothing for me here. I could not take Detroit. Can't do it.
I'm okay with that. We don't know the condition of Galladay and is he going to come back?
It doesn't matter. They look horrible. Detroit can't stop anybody. They're up again in these games and lose. Boy, what an oversight that was with me. They're up in every game and they lose every game. That cannot be a well-coached team if that's happening. They were up against Green Bay.
Yeah. All right, so then Broncos at home getting 6 points. Tampa Bay.
Crazy dog at home. Oh, my gosh, I want to take Denver here, but I really want to take Denver here.
Jeff Driscoll, are you all in?
The Buccaneers, they slaughtered Carolina, but Brady hasn't looked great, and the Broncos do stop the run, and Fangio, again, is going to just run in the ball a million times and keep the game close. You know that it's going to be close. It's just... It's at altitude, second half, may go the Broncos' way. We'll look at it again Saturday, but probably pass for me.
All right. Seahawks, Cowboys.
All right,
Cowboys.
So here we go. Dallas is getting 5. They're going to win the game outright, you know it. And then they're going to be a big favorite next week and lose. This is the way that Dallas goes. So Dallas is a dog, great bet. Dallas is a favorite. Horrible bet. And I'm leaning toward us making a big mistake and taking the Cowboys here. Cowboys getting 5? They have a really good offense. Did Seattle look all that impressive against New England? New England drove up and down the field.
Yeah, Seattle's got no defense.
No defense, right?
So, I mean, I could definitely see this one being very close. I'm looking to see who Dallas is playing next week, to see if this really could be the case. Cleveland at home in Dallas after
7-point favorites next week. They lose outright. Dallas is definitely going to be a touchdown favorite against Cleveland. I don't
right.
even think it matters what Cleveland does. Anyway, I'm leading Dallas in that one. Sunday night, Saints taking on the Packers. This is another surprising line because it tells you something about the Saints. And I hate to say it, but I guess if Thomas plays, maybe it's a different game. But how do you feel about Drew Brees, Howard? Like, this is the first time ever that I've seen him, and it was like, wow, he threw that pick. Like, he threw some passes that I'm a little worried about. And I'm not a Green Bay guy. I thought they overachieved last year in a big way. But I would lead Green Bay. I would have to.
I kind of would too. I mean, the defense looked like they were having a lot of problems for New Orleans, and yeah, Drew Brees definitely did not look good at all. And here's the thing. He spent so long just throwing to Thomas, looking for Thomas, and just force feeding him there. He spread the ball around. Yeah, Traquan Smith got 7 targets. And Alvin Kamara dump off passes had 9 catches for him. But you look at you look at the way the rest of this offense rolls, and it's like Sean Payton to me was probably to blame there because you knew you should go run heavy and just pound it with Kamara and Latavius Murray, and he opted to let Brees throw. And maybe that was just him trying to say, well, everybody expects us to run, so I'm going to pass, and that just wasn't it just didn't look good. Spreading it out too much to just really bad pass catchers was kind of a depressing thing. So I think it was a combination of things.
I agree with you. That's
an aging Brees and terrible play call.
Yeah, that's a good observation. And I'm a little worried with the Saints and Brees. I'm more worried about the Marlins right now, just getting killed again. I cannot believe this is happening. But okay, so Monday Night Football. I think what we should do on Monday Night Football, Howard, is I think we should enjoy this game and not make a pick. I really do. I don't have a great feel for it. I think it's going to be an unbelievable game. I think it's going to go back and forth the whole time. It's the 2 best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, we've seen them slug it out.
You got an opinion on this one? I think it could go absolutely either way. I think it could be 37-34 with a minute to go, and the team that has the ball has 34. They score a touchdown, they cover, or if not, they they tie, they go to overtime. I got no idea. I
don't have a lean on this one either. I mean, both offenses can be incredibly explosive. The Chiefs, their defense isn't great, but it's definitely getting better. So, we've seen these 2 teams slug it out like a couple of heavyweight prize fighters.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun game to watch.
Enjoy it and pass it. It's I just don't have a great feeling. Look, everyone is going to roll with Kansas City here because they're getting the points. Clearly, Vegas is not stupid. Okay, like there's a reason why the Ravens are favored in the game. There's a legit chance the Ravens are better than the Chiefs. There's a legit chance Lamar Jackson is the best player in the NFL, and there's also a good chance the Ravens defense is better than the Chiefs too. But that being said, it's Mahomes. It's such a good game that I'm very thankful that Yom Kippur ends before this game goes off at 8 o'clock on Monday night, that I'll be able to watch it. But that will be, and I'm also thankful there's no baseball postseason until Tuesday. So actually the Cardinals may have to play next Monday. But regardless of that, I want to pass that game Monday. I don't even want to think about it. I just want to enjoy it and watch it. So our early leans, and we'll see what we would do. If you guys are betting out there and you're thinking of tailing us, which has worked well for you the last couple of years, you want to get ahead of these lines. Our early leans, at least Howard and I are on the same page with taking Dallas plus 5 points against the Seattle Seahawks. We'll work backwards. I have suggested possibly Cleveland as a pick, minus 7 against Washington. We're going to be discussing that game as well. I think we see it the same way on the Giants. We see it the same way on the Texans as a potential 4th pick. And then by Saturday night, we will definitely have a 5th pick. And again, this could all change too. It's a crazy year with injuries and COVID and everything else. But I think of all of the lines, if you're looking to get ahead on any of them, I would say probably the best one to get ahead of would be probably the Giants. The Giants would be the one. I think San Francisco will only be a 3-point favorite on Sunday. I think that's going to move down. I think the money will come in on the Giants. It's a New York team. There's always New York money there. 49ers have a lot of injuries. Once they announce Garoppolo out, I like Mullins. But if Mullins is in there and then Kittle is announced out and Mostert is out and Coleman, who I don't like anyway, he's out. Boza's out. The receivers are hurt. It's only natural that line's going to go down. So that's the one line I think you could take advantage of now. I would predict 3.5 or 3 on Sunday. I'll leave it at that.
All right. Beautiful. Well, there you go, guys. That's your early look at the lines, at the Super Contest picks, and things that you should look for, lines adjusting as we get closer to Sunday. We'll be back Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Craig and I will be finalizing our picks for the Westgate Super Contest. We'll see how we do. We are 6-6 so far on the year. Let's get on the other side of that. Let's make that happen here.
We definitely will. And for everybody out there, enjoy the. We're going to talk Saturday night. There'll be college football going on. Enjoy the SEC is back on Saturday, so college football is back as well. Very excited about that. Big Ten will be back in less than a month, and it looks like the Pac-12. Well, I don't know about the Pac-12, but at least the Big Ten we know is coming back. So.
All right. Well, there you go. That's going to do it for us here on the Wager Alarm live stream. Big thanks to John and Pemba, our producer today. For Craig Mish, I'm Howard Bender. We'll catch you Saturday night. That'd be next time.